I do have a lot of friends that play in very dark bands.
Why do you think so few bands have storylines and concepts to their music these days?
It takes a lot of imagination to put together. I think bands are just a lot of bands just focus on music, which is obviously what they should do. I think that for me, I've always just wanted to do something that was more conceptual and a lot more intricate and a lot more artistic in other ways than just music. You know, I wanted to do something that was a little bit more broad spectrum than just music.
Why do you think New York bands are so dark?
Have you ever been to New York? New York is a dark city. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think I have a lot of friends that that are from New York and that play in bands, and some of them are like pop bands and they're very lighthearted. But I do have a lot of friends that play in very dark bands. I don't know. The city is kind of like Gotham. Batman's Gotham. So maybe that has something to do with it.
What bands are you listening to at the moment, and who are you influenced by?
Influenced by, I'd say, when I was a little girl, my mom listened to Susie and the Banshees and Bowie and, you know, musicians like that were very theatrical. So I think that definitely influenced me a lot. Besides that, right now, I'm listening to like all different types of music. Sam Smith to Hozier to Bring Me the Horizon to these guys We Are Harlot that we're playing with. A lot of different types of music and musicians. I think it's really important as a musician to be well versed and to keep your options open.
Who would you like to work with that you already haven't worked with?
I've worked with so many awesome people, and I feel so blessed to have worked with them. I think the one person that would be like the ultimate person to work with for me would be Mourning. He's just genius. Him and maybe even Max Martin, because he's ridiculously talented and can write a hit out of anything. But Mourning definitely, because he's just in rock and he's legend.
I love the visual aspects of the band. Where do you come up with these ideas from?
I mean, a lot of the conceptual work for the costuming and the designing came from a lot of, European and Asian influence. Well, mostly Asian. Japanese culture, the markings on the face, Japanese war culture for the armor sort of like look that we have going on. I've always liked that sort of.
Have you got any good stories from the road?
When we were on tour with Manson, I did a show in Pomona where I jumped off the stage onto a barricade and I just massacred my ankle. I mean, the thing blew up into like a watermelon-sized thing, and so the next couple of shows, I was hobbling around, so I was downing all this Advil, handfuls of it, so that I could get through the show. And by the time we got to the following show, I was so medicated on that, and I hadn't been eating very much. So we were on stage, and I was just going off, and then I felt so sick all of a sudden, like ridiculously ill, right towards the end of the set. So right when it was over, I ran off stage and I threw up every content of my stomach into the trash can right near Manson's dressing room. And I remember his bass tech coming out and being like, "That's so metal," and Manson coming out and just laughing at me, and it was funny. We got a good laugh out of that.
Tell me about the current members of your band.
Oh yeah, these guys are great. Riven, who's played by Rich Jeswick, is from another band called Gemini Syndrome, and he's an incredible guitar player and writer and all over instrumentalist. I mean, besides just doing that, he's also very good at crafting the stage, musically, what to do with the instruments and things like that. So he's wonderful, musical director. And then we have Xavier Moreau, who is from France, and he's an incredible guitarist as well. We have an amazing drummer and bass player, that are super tight together. Both are kind of newer to the industry, but they're still really, really good. So we're very blessed.
When can we expect new music to be available in the UK?
Probably in September. We haven't released anything here in a long time, and we haven't actually released anything globally ever. We released one album in Germany under the name Melancholia, but that was 2012, I think. And that was just demos basically that we put together. So this album is really tried and true, what our sound is going to be going forward. So we're pretty excited about it.
What are your favorite records at the moment?
I mean, I'm always going to put a classic in there because, Sgt. Pepper's is always going to go in there. And then Sempiternal is great from Bring Me the Horizon. The newest Birthday Massacre is actually pretty good, so I'll give that shout out to Rainbow.
When you say your eyes always betray me, weak but hardly breathe, bury yourself alive. Your last regret will be that joy and pain are deep. Why you waste your
What's next for September Mourning?
We have a release of the EP and the comic book coming out in the fall, and then more touring and festivals.